So I'm going to talk about the 18 opportunities that my adversities gifted me, considering the fact that we have the theme as Rewind this year. So they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But what nobody tells you is that it also cripples you, weakens you, shrinks you, and leaves you disillusioned. And then being strong is the only option you are left with. From being bullied to becoming one of the most powerful influencers of the country, from being borderline broke to being covered by the biggest media houses, from having eaten from dustbins to being an inspiration to many, from getting thrown out of the house to getting fiercely independent and fearlessly successful, from hating to look at myself in the mirror and being mocked to realizing my power, from being written off by my seniors to achieving a reach of close to 3 million on my community Paperless Postcards. I have witnessed it all, and I've survived the unsurvivable. So this is my story, and I am going to talk about the opportunities, because from adversities arise the opportunities only if you're observant to them. The real trauma, however, were not these adversities. The real trauma was that for the longest time, I believed that I'm not good enough. I believed that it is okay to be abused, that it is okay to be ill-treated, it is okay to be treated like a doormat. And the fact that it was so seeded, so strongly seeded in me, that I started to believe that I do not deserve much. I started self-loathing. I had absolutely no sense of self-worth, self-confidence, or even self-respect. And this is something that I'm talking about for 28 long years. That's a very, very long time, and more than half of your life. I'm 32. For 28 long years, I had absolutely none of these. But you know what? Like I said, out of adversities come opportunities. So these are the 18 opportunities, since we get 18 minutes, the opportunities that I got or my adversities gifted me. I practiced patience. We can't control what happens to us, but we definitely can control how we respond or react to what happens to us. While people may think, or everyone really thought, that it's very tragic, whatever happened to me, but I found my circumstances extremely empowering. I learned to keep my calm the hard way. I acknowledged my vulnerability. I have anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder. I cry for hours more often than not for no reason whatsoever. There are days when I relive my past and I'm surrounded by really, really negative flashbacks, but I have to also crawl my way back to normalcy every single day. I am still not out of the woods completely, but I do tell myself that it is okay to feel weak. It is all right to bend. It is all right to break down. One day, I was unafraid to be judged, to fail, to cry. And this is my third opportunity that I'm talking about. In a world full of delicate roses, I am a cactus. I can survive that which very few can. The desert of loneliness, harassment, adversities, and yet I have adapted beautifully. I can withstand everything with a smile on my face. My resilience towards any other adversity that comes my way now, that could probably knock me, I am more resilient towards all the adversities. I didn't let situations sabotage my success. Every time life pushed me like the biggest bully in the room, I pushed it back. Focused approach. So the magic ingredient of success is grit. A lot of people ask me, Bistriti, what is your superpower? I don't think I'm very talented. I don't think I was destined to be where I am today. I don't even think that I had the opportunities that a lot of people have by default. But there is one superpower that I carry and which helped me reach the phase that I have reached today, is courage. The undying, unrelentless courage. So I focused all my energies on my career. I focused on something that I was truly good at, and that is writing. I built a deeper connection with myself. This is my 6th opportunity, and these opportunities, I like to call them fortune cookies as well. So I have spent so much time with myself, understanding how I function, what lies at my core, what I'm made of. I found nothing but undying faith. Faith that nothing is ever over until it is right. So all of you, we all feel down and out more often than not, but I think let's believe in the fact that nothing is ever over until it is right. So guys, hang on. I found my passion, my great love story in writing. I couldn't sleep at night for months, so writing became my 3 a.m. friend. The paper knows my darkest secrets, the deepest fears, and the most daring adventures. 8th, I owned up my scars, because this attitude can ultimately change your outlook from a victim to a victor. It is okay to have down days, like I've also mentioned in the previous few pointers. I have howled in pain, not just cried. I have howled in pain, been tired beyond all endurance, been pulled down by anxiety. But setbacks have also brought me clarity, personal reflection, and helped me reset. My wounds turned into wisdom, because if you're not terrified enough, you won't work hard to become terrific. A lot of people who know me, or a lot of interviews that I've been giving recently, they say that, we hear from your team that you are one fearless woman. I say, don't be so sure. I could look like one fearless girl, but don't be so sure. I have a heart of a squirrel, but the courage of a lioness. I am not scared, but I am definitely the one who takes the leap nonetheless. And that is something that makes me probably fearless, that I come across as. The sense of gratitude is the 11th opportunity that I got. I am grateful to everyone who ever said, I believe in you. But I am more thankful to people who said, you're not good enough. This is including my immediate family, because they are my real driving force. I was written off by my seniors in my very first job as a content writer. Today, she's one of the 6 lakh followers on my community, Paperless Postcards. I think that is the real success story that makes me really, really proud of what I have achieved today. The sense of gratitude, like I said, the next is I stopped waiting for approvals or validation. For years, I was constantly waiting for someone to pull me aside and say, hey, you know what? It's all right. It's going to be okay. Then one day, I became that someone. I am my own knight in shining armor. 13th opportunity, something that we ignore a lot as people, as individuals. I am not alone. This is something that I started telling myself. Do not let worry sell you a lie that this is it, you're over. People are having it worse. So I stopped attending to an ever-nagging stress. The grass is not always greener on the other side. Everyone has something they wish they could undo, redo, or erase. They're just not putting it out on Facebook. Accepting people, circumstances, and conditions that I can't change is the 14th opportunity that my adversities gifted me. Empathy, compassion, and letting go are the 3 valuable things I learned during the course. I have been more accepting of how people react, how people would treat me. I have been even more accepting towards what I feel about a certain circumstance. So I guess that is a really, really commendable evolution that I feel I have gone through over the time. I realized I was being prepared for the bigger things life was about to demand of me. If I had an average life, if I had all the opportunities or all the privileges, I don't think I would be standing on one of the biggest stages of the world, which is TEDx. I had faith in where life took me. I believed in my journey, although honestly, I did not realize it at the time when I was eating up from the dustbins, but I did believe in my journey. I did collapse, but I did not get buried. I am glad that I survived to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I got comfortable with my solitude. I am 5 solo trips old, and I've loved every bit of it. Considering the fact that I am an extremely socially conscious person, I do blunders on my dates. And so once what happened is this guy tells me that, Bistriti, look at you, what are you even doing with a guy like me? And this is like after a few dates, and we realized that, this is not going to happen. And I said that, yeah, I guess, you know what, you're right. So these are kind of blunders I make on the dates. And also I met this gentleman, and this is a conversation that went viral on our community, and I quote it often. I met this snobbish gentleman, a marketeer, and while talking, he just asked me that, Bistriti, has anybody ever told you that you're arrogant? And I promptly replied that, yes, all insecure men have. So that is something, these are the things that I do, but then, yes, like coming back to the point that I got comfortable with my solitude. I am 5 solo trips old, and I've loved every bit of it. I have made friends on the trip, and I've had the best of me moments. So yes, I am alone, but definitely not lonely. I cry each day. More often than not, I've cried myself to sleep, like I've said and mentioned earlier. But right after my pity party, I have to put my girl pants on, because otherwise life will move on without me. This is a very, very a cruel reality check, I would say, but an extremely empowering reality check I've had taken long time ago. So like they say, deal with it. And I have made up my mind to deal with it every single day. The final and the 18th opportunity that I got, I stand today on one of the world's biggest platforms, TEDx, to share my story. I don't think I would have had the privilege to come this far if I did not go through the adversities that I had to go through. I'm a successful entrepreneur, have spoken to at some of the biggest business schools, and have been covered by prestigious media houses, only because I had the guts to turn my chaos into opportunities. So guys, thank you so much for having me here. I guess that's my story that I wanted to share with the world today, and thank you for being such a lovely audience and a patient listener. Thank you so much.